They say monsters aren't real, but for 14-year-old Emma, the monster didn't hide under the bed. He slept in the next room. The moment her mother remarried, Emma's world turned upside down. Her stepfather, Rick, wore a charming smile in public, but behind closed doors, his eyes turned cold, his voice became sharp, and his hands, they hurt. What started as harsh words escalated into slaps, bruises, and nights spent curled under her bed, praying for silence. Her once bright laughter had faded to whispers. Her mother, blinded by love or perhaps fear, ignored the truth. Emma was alone. At school, teachers noticed the change. She was quiet, withdrawn. Her grades dropped, but every time someone asked, Emma forced a smile and said she was just tired. She wore long sleeves, no matter the season. She lied like her life depended on it, because it did. The turning point came one November evening. Rick had returned home drunk, again. The rage came out of nowhere, a hurricane that tore through the house. Emma, trembling, hid in the small crawlspace under the stairs. She stayed there for hours, too scared to breathe. When she finally crept out, she found the living room in disarray, overturned furniture, shattered glass, and her mother passed out on the couch. Her body ached, her spirit felt broken, and her eyes carried a weight no child should bear. But somewhere inside, a flicker of hope remained. The next day at school, a new program had started, a canine unit demonstration about safety and law enforcement. Officers introduced their dogs, showed their training skills, and encouraged students to interact. Emma stood at the back, arms crossed, head down. That's when a large German shepherd named Max walked straight past the crowd of laughing students, and sat in front of her. She didn't call him, she didn't look at him. But Max saw something. The officer holding Max, a woman named Officer Ramirez, noticed it too. Max was trained to detect distress, fear, sadness, pain, and he wouldn't move. Gently, Officer Ramirez approached Emma, knelt beside her, and asked if she was okay. Emma opened her mouth to lie again, but then Max nudged his head under her hand and let out a soft whine. Something inside her cracked. She didn't say everything, not yet. But she said enough. Officer Ramirez didn't push. She gave Emma her number, said she was always available, and that Max had a gift for finding people who needed help. Emma didn't believe in miracles, but that night, when Rick's rage flared again, she remembered that dog's eyes. And she made the call. It was the bravest thing she had ever done. What followed was a whirlwind: Child Protective Services, police interviews, hospital visits. It wasn't easy. Emma's mother denied it all, stood by Rick. That betrayal stung even worse. But the officers believed her. The photos, the bruises, her trembling voice, they were undeniable. And Max, he was there for every interview. Sitting beside her, nuzzling her hand, calming her when her voice shook. During the court case, Max sat in the witness box with Emma. The judge allowed it, sensing how vital the dog was to her. She told her story, voice steady, tears rolling down her cheeks, hand resting on Max's back. The courtroom was silent. Rick was sentenced to 15 years in prison. Her mother never came to see her. For months, Emma lived in a shelter for abused teens. It was lonely, confusing, but she was safe. She missed Max. More than anything, she missed the way he made her feel human. Then, a surprise visit changed everything. Officer Ramirez came with Max, who bounded toward Emma like he hadn't seen her in years. He licked her face, knocked her over, and for the first time in months, she laughed. Officer Ramirez knelt down, holding a leash in her hands. Max is retiring, she said. He's earned his rest, and he chose you. Emma's breath caught in her throat. From that day forward, Max wasn't just a dog. He was her protector, her comfort, her family. The two moved in with a foster family Officer Ramirez recommended, kind people who understood trauma, who gave Emma space to heal. Slowly, she opened up. Therapy helped. School became less scary. She joined art club, started painting again. Every night, Max curled up beside her bed, guarding her dreams. Years later, Emma stood in front of her high school class as valedictorian. Her speech wasn't about grades or college. It was about courage. I lived in a nightmare, she said, voice trembling. But I got out, not alone, but with help. From people who saw me. And from a dog, who refused to walk away. She paused, looking out at the audience, where Officer Ramirez and Max, older now, his muzzle gray, watched her with pride. If you're trapped, she said, don't wait for the pain to stop. Speak, fight, ask. There are people, and animals, who will stand with you. I'm living proof. The gymnasium erupted in applause. Not just because she was brave, but because she survived. In Max, he barked once, loud and proud, and the sound echoed like a promise. Because sometimes, heroes have 4 legs and fur. And sometimes, they save lives just by sitting beside a broken child, and refusing to move.